How you doing?
Brendan, great, nice to see you.
Good
Welcome.
to meet you. Thank you very much for having us here.
It's a pleasure to welcome you to the farm. You're in Oakle Pitchard in the heart of Herefordshire, and it's a lovely, unseasonal, warm, hot, sunny October day, which is a bit unusual, but
Yeah, let's go harvest some apples then, because those go hand in hand. Hot temperatures and
come and see the pressing of the apples and the pears.
excellent.
Gary's been pressing pears all day, and then these are ready for tomorrow. Sometimes don't look the prettiest of things, but by the time we've been through the cleaner and everything, everything's all right.
Is this all mixed in? So some are apples and some are pears?
No, all pears.
But they're distinctly non-pear shaped.
Yes, and that's one of the idiosyncrasies of Perry pears. They don't look like
Pears.
normal eating pears. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's doing what all Perry pears do, and that is it ripens from the inside out.
It's got a fig-like consistency.
So, yep, that's it. So you've got that grainy texture that you associate with a fig, but that's actually fermenting. That's not.
You can just
That's
taste
not. Yeah.
the beginning of
So
it.
it's almost got a shell on the outside that keeps the outside from rotting before the inside.
Yeah.
I've never seen a fruit do that.
Yeah.
They're going to have more tannins to it, or
Yeah. This has got a fair bit of acidity too, actually.
a lot of acidity to it. Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
And will those turn over the same way that those did? Will those eventually rot from the inside? From the inside?
No, these will get pressed before that, because these don't rot from the inside out.
Okay.
The idea is that when you press it, in pressing the apples and pears, you release the sugars, because they're all bound up in the cell walls and everything, and then it's on the release of the sugars that you actually then give the wild yeast something to ferment and turn into alcohol. These are specific cider varieties and specific pear varieties.
Yeah.
To make cider very. We're not. I'm not big on. I don't use dessert or culinary apples either.
Absolutely love that smell. Have you been to any of the like Champagne regions or wine region?
It's
Going
like
down to the cellars?
basement, mold, fermentation. Oh, man cave.
Just, I think, phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
That lovely, deep, orangey.
Yeah, orange, but like still kind of reminds me of caramels. Holy shit. I've never had cider like that before in my life.
That's the reaction you look at. Hard. Imagine if you.
It really is like it's drier. It's complex.
Yeah.
It feels much more like than a baby drink. Like this is an actual thing. This isn't overly sweet. It's
fully fermented, so there's no residual sugar in there.
No.
All the sweetness and fruitiness is from the fruit itself, and then a nice element of barrel encasing it, a little bit of vanilla from the barrel, and a little sense of the spirit that was in the barrel before in the finish.
what spirit was it? Was it bourbon?
So Irish whiskey. So these were bourbon barrels. These virtually every barrel in use is from Kentucky. So it's a very.
So this is a bubbly.
So this is a bottle condition cider. Okay. This is a full-blooded tannic Herefordshire cider.
Oh wow. That's really good.
The
bubbles are massive as well.
Yeah.
So it does like it dances in your tongue, so to speak, but it really does.
Totally different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than it's obviously the flavour is different. Not just the fact that this is obviously fizzy.
Yeah. This is a really interesting one. So I'll open it next, and then you'll see why it's really interesting. All right.
I see Oliver, and look at the green. It's olive oil.
Just wanted to get that. So you go straight away. It's a lighter colour, so that pears tend to be a lighter colour. And I had a big weekend of it, and next weekend is a big dinner. So I'm just
hungover.
Oh wow! I've never had anything like that again. That's like the first one to me.
Nice.
And what would happen if you do go to champagne method? Who comes knocking on the door?
training standards.
Yeah.
And then with the cider?
And then it's got that. Oh yeah, that's super good. So smooth. The whole thing is so smooth to end with cider.
Yeah.
So for people out there who maybe, again, have only ever had Strongbow or a few of those, what should they be looking out for on the bottles or in the pub or whatever to show that it's that step up from the pyramid? Is there a marker that you can do?
Rule of thumb is if you walk into a pub and something's available on tap or on draft and it's not made a fuss of, then you know that you're just drinking or what I would call commonly available cider. But if something is in there and they're making a fuss of it, and by that I mean the price will be higher.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing, because there's no way we can make and sell cider at the prices that it's just not possible. So if you see something and you go, Christ, that's eye-wateringly high, then that's a chance that that's the cider that you should be trying. They have to be selling it. It will not sell itself. So you could go to a pub, you could have all my bottles in a lovely arrangement, and people would just go straight to their, I'll have a pint of
What they know.
Thatchers. So you have to have someone actively advocating and selling his cider.
So really, this is almost a call to bar owners, pub managers.
Okay.
That's where
Yes.
that's
Gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So it is. Please hunt down, your local cider maker and go and visit them and see what it is they're doing, because it could be quite wonderful. So what I want you to go away from here with is this feeling that cider and perry is an agricultural product made to the highest of standards, and it is a fun, complex, characterful drink, and do you know, nobody knows about it.
Yeah. I didn't have a clue about it until today. Like, this far exceeded what I expected out of cider in general, but even the visit, like meeting you, you're an amazing human, you're interesting to talk to, and the knowledge this guy has is incredible. But back to the cider, I've never had anything like that before in my life. I've never, and to know that there's a level of, kind of the bottom level of all the ciders that we know exist, and then it keeps going up, and Tom's cider is quite famous. Like, I had chef friends refer me to come here because it's sought after, and he's doing something that's so special and so rare, and it will take you time to find it. But if you do, it's well worth it. It's so much more interesting than the base level stuff.
Yeah. It's like everything. When it's a small rural enterprise, it's hard to get a volume going anywhere. It's hard to get mass distribution. But what it does make is really something really rewarding in terms of finding it. And when you found it, you really feel part of it, because it's your own discovery. It's something really special. And I think, great farmhouse cider and perry taken to the top of the pinnacle is where it's at.
I agree. Like, I think we can all in agreement. Let's stay away from factory cider, factory food, factory anything, and let's look at, you're going to pay a little bit more, but honestly, it's a next level thing. I can't imagine doing a tasting at Strongbow right now and having even close to a similar experience. Like, it's not possible. So let's steer away from those ideas of, like, if it's a big brand, it must be good, and realizing that there's smaller people probably within your community doing something that's quite special and unique.
Yeah, I think the thing that I find now, because I get the absolute pleasure and privilege of traveling the world, doing things with cider, and I find all over the world small craft cider makers or even bigger craft cider makers making this wonderful product that people just go, I never knew this existed. And that's the most common phrase I hear.
Yeah.
Go find it. Look out for
Yeah.
it.
And now I know, from this point on, I know it exists, so I'll be able to recognize it easily. But, thank you, Tom.
Brandon, my pleasure. Thanks very much for making the trek down here.
It was worth it, yeah. Straight off a train, rent a car, and it was worth it. Absolutely. Two times worth it, 3 times worth it.
Good.
Thank you very
Good.
much.
Pleasure.
All right, everyone. Thank you.